You're welcome to my channel once again, right? And if this is your first time of tuning in, I'm super excited to have you here. Don't worry, it's not every time I'm looking all fine like this, right? Okay, so please kindly subscribe to my channel, please. Thank you so much. Okay, so today the reason for my makeup actually is that I went to do a photo shoot, right? So it's my birthday coming up. You guys will see the video of that one, right? But I decided that this makeup must not waste. I must utilize it till the end, right? And so yeah, Lady Chayil, shout out to you. Lady Chayil Artistry was one who did my face. I look like a human being. Okay, so I quickly wanted to speak about how that I never wanted my son to go to school till he was like 3 or 4 years old, right? So a lot of people had the conversation with me and said, oh, that's too late, just when it's 2, just allow him and all that. And so I said, okay. But in my head, I knew what I wanted to do, right? You know when you just tell people that okay, but you know what you want to do, right? So that was the case, right? And so guess what? We started out knowing fully well, gratefully, my husband too was of that opinion, because I mean he has his whole life to read. So why are we always just rushing children, right? That's my own personal opinion, and I can speak for my husband's personal opinion too. And so we had already agreed on it, in conversations before then. And okay, 1 year old, I couldn't actually deal again, so we took him to a creche, right, where I spent a few months. So COVID happened actually. You already agreed that you weren't going to take him to school, so what happened, what changed and all that? But COVID was a humbling ground. Everybody humbled themselves, and so my son was back at home, right? COVID, schools now began to open a few months after, not a few months, many months after, right? And we're still like, no, there's no point, let's just wait it out till perhaps 3 years old and all that. And that was going on smoothly. I'd already zeroed my mind that 3 years old he was going to go to school, right? But there was an incident that happened, and so I went for an event, a naming ceremony actually. So I was able to take my son because there was nowhere else to put him, right? I took him, and there were other children playing, like running around, playing ball and all that. But my son wanted to take the item that they were playing with and play alone, right? For me that looked odd, because I'm like, he should be able to mix with everybody. I mean, children his age are there, right? But I then thought that okay, this boy at home plays by himself, right? He would usually play by himself, except for times when his dad or myself have time to play with him and all that, which is not all the time, by the way. So I saw that happen on 2 occasions. He took the ball and started running. I wanted to play by himself, but those ones did not agree for him. So there was a time I saw him again alone by himself on one side of the compound, right? And he was just playing with a stick by himself. And I'm like, and all the other children were laughing, yeah, and all that. So I then looked at it and said, this boy needs to go to school, because I realized that schooling is not only about learning things, because he learns A to Z. He knows how to identify colors, he knows how to identify letters, he could pronounce his words, he knows how to say mommy. Please, if you know me, you know that it took him a while to begin to say mommy, right? So he knows daddy, he knows grandma, he knows relationships, he knows how to say I want something, right? He knows how to say sorry if he wants something. He was already potty trained, right? So in my head I was like, there was really nothing. I mean, let him just keep enjoying his time at home and all that. But I realized that school is also a place of interaction. It's also a place to learn social skills, right? So there are times when a child will be able to speak up for himself. Even at age 2, a child should be able to know that if your age mate is playing, it will be great to play too, right? And it was that naming ceremony that actually exposed us to that reality, that our son wasn't getting socially, he could relate with older people. He could, his grandparents, if our friends come over or we see our friends, we will relate with them properly. So that's why we had to say, okay guy, the following Monday like this, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, men and brethren, we bundled him back to school, right? And gratefully for us, he was always excited to go to school and still is. So he would usually run into school and usually not want us to pick him at the end of the day, right? And I felt that was good, that he would have been learning and all that. But the main problem for me was that I'll now cook 2 meals or 3 meals at a stretch. So that actually took a toll on me, basically, because I had to wake up earlier, get my son's food ready, get my husband's food ready, get my food ready, get me and my husband's food ready. Don't think all of us are eating separate in the house, and sometimes 3 of us eat the same thing, right? And so that was basically it. That was basically why I had to make that decision with the help of my husband to say, and thank God, gratefully, that my husband did not say, no, this child must stay, And that's one of the things I really do appreciate about my husband. He's very understanding, and if you can explain to him, in fact, sometimes you don't even need to explain to him, okay, that's what you want, Abby, and he supports. And I really, I hope he gets to watch this anyway. That's one of the things I really appreciate about him. So yeah, that's basically one of the major reasons why I had to take my son to school. Then the second reason also was that I had to resume work fully. I had to engage in other things. So because I now have included video editing to the things that I offer professionally, right? So a lot of clients have come in for jobs and all that. So it's been a full time, then having to interact with my son, make sure that we're doing activity day, doing all that. I really couldn't keep up. So I could do activity day a couple of days in a week. I could teach him, okay, this is letter C, how do you identify that? We had a board that we got in which we could write, but when I was getting exhausted and I couldn't really cope with that, And then my husband also had a couple of things I was doing, so we decided that, ladies and gentlemen, it was good that we better send this boy to school, right? And so yeah, nothing is cast in stone. There's still people that homeschool their kids. There are people that I did not plan to homeschool my child. Let me know, like, I planned that my child was going to play till he was 3 years old, right? And but haven't seen that. As I see that thing, we had to take a 360-degree decision on what to do, right? I just thought that I should put that out there, and number 2, this makeup should not waste, right? And that Lady Chai is the one that do my makeup, right? To say that, that was basically it. When people see me and say that, oh, shall we say you're not taking your child to school? I say, come, let me education you, as if you didn't understand this thing, right? And so yeah, I also felt that I should put it out there for other moms who would try to make the decision whether to take their children to school or not. Except your child has other siblings, like older siblings. My son is the first child, so there's really nobody for him to play with except maybe his cousins come, and COVID has not been helping us in that matter, right? So except you have other siblings that are not too far from your child, you can successfully do that. But if you one child and you, please help the child, because these are skills that would help them grow even as they progress in life. And so on that day, I plead the blood of Jesus over him and sent him to school, COVID or no COVID. I just prayed that yes, this boy is God that gave me. God is going to protect him. God is going to be with him, right? God's hand of protection would always be upon him. And that was how I got the confidence basically to move and send him off to crash. I hope this was a good conversation with you. You can leave your comments and your thoughts about whether you think that your child should go to school or not, right? And yes, special shout out to people homeschooling. It's not an easy something. Yeah, I remember also that there's a friend of ours, she told us about how that she saw the difference between the interactions with her 2 children. The older one was homeschooled by her at some point, and the second one wasn't, right? So by the time the second one was ready to go to school, the first one was in school, so there was no point, so she just sent 2 of them. But the first one ended up being more reserved because she hadn't been interacting at the initial stage, right? She's such a lovely young lady right now. And so from that experience, when she told me that, I kept it somewhere in my memory. And when I saw it happen in my son, I was like, no, let's correct this early enough, right? So my son is 2 years and 3 months. It's 2 years and 3 months, and yeah, that's how it has been. And please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to my channel. and I'll see you some other time, right? How is my face? Did I try? Fine. Have an amazing time.